Discipline. That's the word nobody wants to hear, but it's the word that builds everything. Inner strength isn't some gift you're born with. It's not a switch you flip when life gets hard. Inner strength is forged. Forged through struggle, through sacrifice, through the grind that no one sees. Every morning you wake up, your mind will tell you to stay comfortable, to take it easy. Discipline is what answers back. Discipline is what says, no. Get up, move forward, do what needs to be done. That's inner strength. That's the power that separates those who only dream from those who execute. And if you want to win at anything, life, business, relationships, you better learn to master it. Discipline equals freedom. At first, it sounds like a contradiction. How can discipline, which feels rigid and strict, be the very thing that leads to freedom, which we associate with choice, with flexibility, with doing whatever we want? The truth is, without discipline, freedom is an illusion. When you lack discipline, you are controlled by impulses, by emotions, by weakness. You're trapped by your own lack of structure. You say you want freedom to sleep in, freedom to skip the workout, freedom to eat whatever you crave. But those so-called freedoms lead to chains. They chain you to regret, to weakness, to wasted time. Real freedom is earned by discipline. When you wake up early, when you put in the work, when you deny the easy path, you are building a life that you control instead of one that controls you. Think about your health. Without discipline in your eating and training, you become a prisoner of fatigue, a hostage to your own body. You lose energy, you lose capability. But with discipline, sticking to the plan, grinding through the workouts, making the right choices, you gain freedom. Freedom to move, freedom to be strong, freedom to do what others can't. The freedom to live on your terms instead of being limited by weakness. Consider money. If you spend recklessly, chasing comfort and instant gratification, you end up in debt. Debt is a prison. It takes away choices. It forces you into jobs you don't want, hours you don't control. But with discipline, with saving, with investing, with saying no to unnecessary luxuries, you build security. And that security gives you freedom. Freedom to walk away from toxic situations. Freedom to choose the path you want. Freedom to live with confidence instead of anxiety. Look at time. When you lack discipline, your days disappear into distractions. Scrolling, binge, watching, wasting minutes that add up to years. And then you wonder why you're stuck. But when you apply discipline, when you prioritize, when you attack the important tasks first, you reclaim time. You buy back your life. You gain the freedom to pursue goals, to create, to actually live instead of existing. Discipline is structure, and structure is what builds strength. With discipline, you don't let your feelings dictate your actions. You don't wait for motivation to arrive. You move regardless. You train your mind to push through resistance. And that training pays you back in the form of freedom. Freedom from procrastination. Freedom from regret. Freedom from the chaos of a life lived at the mercy of weakness. Discipline doesn't restrict you. It frees you from the things that truly hold you down. It gives you control. It gives you power. It gives you the ability to say no to what doesn't matter and yes to what does. Every rep you complete, every early morning you conquer, every temptation you overcome, it's not just about toughness. It's about building freedom in your life. The kind of freedom that only comes from the relentless practice of discipline. Comfort is the enemy. Comfort feels good. It feels safe. It feels easy. But that's the trap. Comfort slowly takes your edge. It dulls your instincts. It softens your will. When you stay in comfort, you stop growing. You stop fighting. You stop pushing yourself beyond the limits you thought you had. Comfort whispers to you that you've done enough, that you deserve to rest, that you should take it easy. And every time you listen, every time you give in, you give away a piece of your strength. Growth doesn't live in comfort. Growth lives in discomfort, in struggle, in the moments when your body screams and your mind begs to quit, but you push anyway. It's in the early mornings when the alarm hits and comfort says stay in bed, but discipline says get up. It's in the workouts that burn, in the long hours of work when your energy is gone, in the tough conversations you don't want to have but need to face. That's where progress is found. That's where you build resilience. That's where inner strength is forged. Comfort is the silent killer of ambition. It doesn't come at you with fire or fury. It doesn't attack with violence. It lulls you to sleep. It tells you there's no rush. It tells you tomorrow will be better. It convinces you that average is enough, that settling is fine, that the dream you had can wait. And without realizing it, days turn into years, and the life you wanted slips further away because comfort kept you still. When you train your mind to reject comfort, you begin to separate yourself from the masses. Most people live for comfort. They live for weekends, for shortcuts, for ease. But those who reject comfort, those who walk willingly into the pain, into the grind, into the hard, those are the ones who rise. They become sharper, harder, more resilient. They build the kind of strength that can't be taken away because it was earned in the fire of discomfort. Think about every great achievement in history. None of it came from comfort. Soldiers on the battlefield, explorers charting unknown lands, leaders building nations, entrepreneurs creating empires, they didn't sit back in comfort. They endured sleepless nights, crushing failures, relentless pressure. They embraced discomfort, and it hardened them into what they needed to become. Comfort would have destroyed them before they ever began. Discomfort teaches you things comfort never will. It teaches patience. It teaches grit. It teaches the power of pushing one more step when everything inside you says stop. Discomfort strips away excuses. It forces you to adapt. It reveals your true limits. And when you live there, when you seek it instead of avoiding it, you find that you're capable of far more than you imagined. Comfort will always be there, tempting you, calling you, promising you ease. But ease is the enemy. Ease is the thief of greatness. Comfort is what keeps people average, what keeps dreams buried, what keeps potential locked away. And the only way to break free is to step out, to lean into the pain, to embrace the hard path where growth lives and where strength is made. Inner strength is forged in struggle. It doesn't appear out of nowhere. You don't wake up one day suddenly unbreakable. Strength is not gifted, it's earned. And the price is paid in hardship, in adversity, in the fire of struggle. Every obstacle you face, every failure you endure, every setback that knocks you down is an opportunity to forge something inside you that cannot be taken away. Struggle is the furnace. Struggle is the weight. Struggle is the battlefield where inner strength is built. When life is easy, when everything goes your way, you might feel good, but you don't get stronger. Muscles don't grow without resistance. The mind doesn't grow without pressure. The spirit doesn't grow without pain. It's the moments when you're tested, when you're pushed to your breaking point, when everything seems impossible. That's when inner strength is formed. Because you don't learn resilience when things are comfortable. You learn it when comfort is gone, when you're forced to fight, when survival depends on whether you rise or quit. Think about the people who inspire you. The ones who overcame poverty, who survived trauma, who battled through losses that would destroy most. They didn't gain strength from comfort. They gained strength from enduring storms, from walking through fire, from refusing to surrender when everything around them told them to stop. The scars they carry are not signs of weakness. They are proof of the struggle that built them, proof of the inner strength they forged through pain. Struggle is a teacher. It strips away illusions. It reveals who you are when nothing is easy. In struggle, you can't hide behind excuses. You can't pretend. You face yourself raw and exposed. And in that exposure, you make a choice, break, or build. Struggle offers both paths. Many break under it, but those who choose to build come out harder, sharper, more relentless. That's why struggle is necessary. Without it, there's no depth, no grit, no real power inside you. Every setback is a weight added to your shoulders, and if you carry it, if you push through it, you grow stronger. Every failure is a test, and if you learn from it instead of running from it, you gain resilience. Every obstacle is a wall, and if you climb it, if you endure the pain it takes to get over it, you unlock more of your potential. Struggle doesn't weaken you. It forges you, it refines you, it prepares you for the battles ahead. Inner strength is not built on victories alone. It is built on the countless moments when you should have quit but didn't. It's built on the nights you cried, but still stood up the next morning. It's built on the days when no one believed in you, but you kept moving anyway. Struggle gives you the calluses, the toughness, the willpower that comfort never will. It turns pain into power, chaos into clarity, weakness into unshakable strength. Excuses destroy progress. They are the lies we tell ourselves to justify staying the same. They sound reasonable, they sound harmless, but excuses are poison. Every time you make one, you trade growth for comfort, effort for ease, progress for stagnation. You say you don't have time, you don't have energy, you don't have the right resources. But the truth is, excuses are just permission slips for failure. They let you off the hook in the moment, but they rob you of results in the long run. Excuses disguise themselves as logic. You convince yourself that the timing isn't right, that conditions aren't perfect, that you'll start tomorrow. You justify skipping the workout because you had a long day. You justify procrastinating because you weren't feeling inspired. You justify giving half effort because nobody is watching. And while all of that feels acceptable in the moment, each excuse becomes a brick in the wall that blocks your progress. The wall grows higher every time you choose the easy way out. Progress demands responsibility. It demands ownership. It requires that you face the truth. The only thing standing between you and where you want to be is you. Excuses shift blame. They let you point fingers at circumstances, at other people, at bad luck. But as long as you blame, you don't change. And if you don't change, you don't move forward. Excuses are the anchor that holds you down when you should be climbing. The dangerous thing about excuses is that they multiply. The more you use them, the easier they become. One skip day turns into two. One delay turns into a week. Soon, excuses become your default response to challenges. You train your mind to run from difficulty instead of confronting it. You create a habit of quitting before you even start. And progress dies not in giant failures, but in the slow, quiet decay caused by excuses repeated over and over. On the other side, when you eliminate excuses, progress accelerates. When you stop saying, "I can't," and start asking, "How can I?" Doors open. When you stop justifying laziness and start taking ownership, momentum builds. When you refuse to accept your own lies, you put yourself in a position of power. The struggle is still there, the obstacles are still there, but you stop wasting energy defending your weakness and start using that energy to attack the problem. Excuses don't just stop progress, they destroy discipline, they kill consistency, they undermine confidence. Every time you excuse yourself, you prove to yourself that quitting is acceptable. But when you deny excuses, when you refuse to let them out of your mouth, you prove to yourself that nothing will stop you. That proof builds trust in yourself. That trust builds confidence. And confidence fuels progress. Excuses are easy, but easy is the enemy of growth. Progress is hard, it's uncomfortable, it demands sacrifice. You can't move forward and hold on to excuses at the same time. One will win and one will die. Excuses destroy progress, and the moment you kill the excuses, you take back control of your path. Small wins build unbreakable will. Too often people believe that strength is built in a single grand victory. That discipline arrives in one massive leap. But the truth is, greatness is not the product of rare, extraordinary moments. It is built brick by brick through small, consistent wins that compound over time. Each time you choose discipline over comfort, each time you finish a task you didn't want to start, each time you push through resistance, even in the smallest way, you add a layer to your willpower. That repetition, that accumulation of small victories becomes the foundation of an unbreakable will. When you wake up and make your bed, it's a small win. When you hit the workout, even though you felt tired, it's a small win. When you choose to work for 30 minutes instead of scrolling through your phone, it's a small win. These moments might feel insignificant in isolation, but together they create momentum. Momentum creates confidence. Confidence creates resilience. And resilience creates an iron will that cannot be shaken. The unbreakable will doesn't come from extraordinary talent or motivation. It comes from stacking small victories every single day. Small wins matter because they are proof. Proof that you can follow through, proof that you can overcome resistance, proof that you can control your actions. Every time you honor a commitment to yourself, no matter how minor, you reinforce the belief that you are capable. And belief is the engine that drives willpower. Without it, you doubt yourself and give in to weakness. With it, you stand taller, you fight harder, you refuse to bend even under heavy pressure. The process of building willpower through small wins is like forging steel. Each repetition is heat, each act of discipline is the hammer strike, each completed task is the shaping of the blade. At first, it doesn't look like much. The changes are subtle, but over weeks, months, and years, you develop strength that no setback can break. Because you didn't build it all at once. You built it piece by piece, reinforced with countless layers of practice. Small wins also protect you from collapse under pressure. When life hits you with a challenge, you don't rise to the occasion, you fall to the level of your training. If you've built a habit of stacking small wins, you have a reserve of willpower to draw on. You don't crumble because you've conditioned yourself to endure, to push, to finish what you start. It's not luck, it's not chance. It's the result of thousands of small victories that prepared you for the moment. An unbreakable will is not created in comfort. It is created in the decision to do the little things right every single day. The world doesn't see those moments, but you do, and each one changes you. Each one makes you harder to defeat. Each one takes you closer to becoming the kind of person who cannot be broken, no matter how heavy the burden or how relentless the storm. Discipline is the foundation of victory. Without it, talent is wasted, potential is squandered, and ambition collapses under the weight of inconsistency. Victory is not won on the day of competition, it is won in the unseen hours when no one is watching. When the choice between action and comfort presents itself and you choose discipline. Discipline is the framework that holds everything together. It is the system that keeps you moving forward when motivation fades, when fatigue sets in, when doubt creeps in. Discipline doesn't ask how you feel, it demands action regardless of circumstance. Victory belongs to those who prepare, and preparation is nothing but discipline repeated daily. The athlete who trains when it's inconvenient, the student who studies when distractions call, the leader who does the hard work while others rest. They are laying down bricks of discipline. When the moment of truth arrives, they don't need to rise to the occasion. They simply execute what they've been practicing all along. The undisciplined collapse because they relied on talent, on luck, on bursts of motivation. The disciplined prevail because their actions are ingrained, automatic, battle-tested. Discipline provides clarity. In the chaos of struggle, it gives you structure. When emotions run high and obstacles seem overwhelming, discipline narrows your focus to the task at hand. It removes hesitation and doubt. It cuts away the noise and leaves you with a simple directive. Do what must be done. That clarity is what creates consistency, and consistency is what creates victory. You cannot control outcomes, but you can control inputs. Discipline ensures those inputs are delivered every day, relentlessly, until victory becomes inevitable. Discipline also builds trust, not just the trust others place in you, but the trust you place in yourself. Every time you follow through, every time you keep your word to yourself, you strengthen your own foundation. You begin to believe that you will do what you say you will do, no matter what. That belief is a weapon. When you trust yourself, fear has less power, hesitation has less grip, and failure becomes just another step rather than a final stop. Even in defeat, discipline is what carries you forward, because victory is not always about the scoreboard or the prize. Victory is also the ability to stand after you've been knocked down, to keep moving when the world tries to stop you. Discipline fuels that resilience. It keeps you from surrendering. It keeps you in the fight. And staying in the fight is the only way victory is ever earned. Discipline strips away the illusion of shortcuts. It rejects the easy path. It doesn't promise quick results, but it guarantees progress. The victories that matter, the ones that change your life, the ones that last, are never the result of luck or chance. They are the result of sacrifice, consistency, and the relentless daily grind that discipline demands. Victory stands on that foundation, and without it, nothing holds.